28 years old. You just signed the papers co-signing a $65,000 auto loan for your best friend Mike to buy a brand new Tesla Model Y. Just one signature, bro. I swear I'll pay it back every single month, he said while slapping your shoulder like you were his hero. 15 years of friendship. You smiled, felt like $1,000,000 and thought, of course I can trust him. You were Ryan, working as an IT engineer in California, pulling a solid six-figure salary that most people would kill for. You had Sarah, your girlfriend, 4 months pregnant with your first child. Life was finally clicking into place after years of grinding. Mortgage pre-approval for that 3-bedroom house in the suburbs with a little backyard was already sitting on the table. You two had spent entire evenings scrolling through Zillow, imagining where the crib would go, where the baby could crawl around safely, where you could finally breathe after all those years of renting tiny apartments in the Bay Area. Then Mike called you at 2 in the morning, voice cracking like he was about to break down completely. Bro, you gotta save me this time. I just got laid off from my tech job after the latest round of cuts. My old student loans are burying me alive with those crazy interest rates, and the bank is threatening to repo my old car any day now. I need this Tesla to start driving for rideshare full-time and get back on my feet. I promise I'll handle every payment. You sat there in the dark of your living room, phone pressed to your ear, listening to him breathe heavily on the other end. You told yourself it was nothing, just helping your brother from back in the day. No big deal. You wouldn't lose a single cent. After all, you had a stable job, good credit, and Sarah's smile every morning made everything feel possible. The first month, Mike actually made the full payment on time. You felt unstoppable. You even bragged to Sarah that night over dinner at your favorite Thai place down the street. See, babe, I helped my boy out. He's good now. She smiled at you across the table, fork in hand, but you could tell there was a tiny flicker of worry in her eyes. Still, you brushed it off. 15 years, right? Blood is thicker than water. You had been through high school together, through your first breakups, through late-night gaming sessions, where you swore you'd always have each other's backs. This was just another chapter. But you had no idea what was coming. None at all. By month 4, the promotional interest rate ended and the real rate floated up hard, just like those fine print paragraphs you never bothered to read. Mike started missing payments. Your phone started ringing nonstop from morning till night. First, it was polite reminders from the lender, automated voices telling you everything was fine if you just paid the minimum. Then collection agencies joined the party with cold robotic voices that made your stomach drop every single time. Sir, as the cosigner, you are now fully responsible for the entire $65,000 auto loan, plus all the accumulated late fees and penalties that keep growing every single day. You wired $3,000 the first time, sitting at your desk during lunch break while pretending to answer work emails, then $5,000 the next, transferring money while Sarah was taking a nap in the other room. You kept telling yourself it was only temporary. Mike would get back on track any day now. He always did. He was the guy who bounced back from everything. Meanwhile, in your head, you were still the loyal friend. 15 years we've been through everything together. How could I abandon him now when he needs me most? It felt right, until the water started turning into quicksand, and you began to feel yourself sinking slowly, day by day. 2 months later, the calls got uglier. Collection agents started threatening to contact your employer. They had your work number, your home address, everything. Your credit score, which had been a rock-solid 780 for years, began dropping fast. You checked the app every single night before bed, watching the numbers bleed away like blood from an open wound. 750, 720, 680. Each drop felt like a punch to the gut. You tried to act normal around Sarah. You still kissed her good morning, still rubbed her growing belly, and whispered to the baby inside. But every time the phone rang, you felt your heart jump into your throat. Then one random Tuesday morning, Sarah got the call while she was at her prenatal checkup, sitting in the waiting room surrounded by other happy, expecting mothers. The man on the line said, "Is this Mr. Ryan's wife?" Your husband now owes us over $82,000 on the co-signed auto loan. If this isn't brought current immediately, we will have to contact his employer for wage garnishment and place a lien on any future assets, including any mortgage applications you might be planning. Sarah came home that evening, hand resting on her growing belly, face pale as paper. She didn't yell. She didn't cry right away. She just sat down on the couch, looked at you with those tired eyes, and asked in a quiet voice that broke your heart, "What the hell is going on, Ryan? We're about to have a baby in a few months. How are we supposed to buy a house now when your credit is getting destroyed? How are we supposed to give this child the life we dreamed about?" That night, you finally sat down at the kitchen table and opened every single statement. Interest compounding on interest. Late fees stacking like bricks on top of bricks. Your credit score had already crashed from 780 down to 520 in less than 6 months. Every new loan application you tried, even for a small apartment closer to family, got rejected instantly. The bank officer told you over the phone with zero emotion, "Sir, with this recent co-signed debt on your report, we cannot approve any mortgage for at least the next 24 months. 24 months. That number echoed in your head for days. You called Mike that same night, pacing back and forth in the living room while Sarah tried to sleep. Phone went straight to voicemail, messages left on read for days. A full week later, he finally called back, voice tired and distant like he was already somewhere else mentally. "Bro, I'm working on a new gig. Just hold on a little longer. I'll catch up on the payments, I promise." You snapped at him through the phone, voice shaking with anger you had been holding back for months. You knew this auto loan was high risk from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew what you were asking me to do. He stayed silent for what felt like forever, the line so quiet you could hear traffic in the background on his end. Then he said quietly, "I thought you could handle it, man." That sentence hit you harder than any collection call ever could. He didn't just need money. He needed someone reliable to take the fall with him, someone with good credit, someone he could count on to carry the weight when things went south. You sat alone on the balcony that night, staring at the endless city lights of Los Angeles, the cool night air brushing against your face. Sarah was already asleep inside, her belly rising and falling with each slow breath. The baby would be here in 5 months. You asked yourself over and over what the hell you had actually signed. It wasn't just a piece of paper. It wasn't even the $65,000. You had signed away your peace of mind, your family's future, your unborn child's stability before it even took its first breath, the invisible chain that now tied you forever to a friendship you once thought would last a lifetime. And by the time you finally woke up, it was already too late.